I want to share with you today the only way to all these things, your only way to all these things. Each person has things in life that they want. Each person has things in life that they desire. Now, some plan how to get those things. Some act on how to get those things. And then there are some that do both. They plan out how they are going to accomplish what they want to accomplish, and then they work the plan that they have planned. And many of them attain that which they have desired. But something that I see very often is Christians who follow the wrong route to their goal. I'm reminded of a movie called The Pilgrim's Progress. It's a cartoon version of the book, The Pilgrim's Progress. And in that book, you see the lead person, Christian, he's following a rocky wall. And the instruction that was given to him was follow the river, follow the river. And so what he does is he follows this river, and it's rocky. It's hard to traverse. And he decides, right next to this river, there's a field. And if we run across this field, this bridge is following directly in line with this river, we'll be just fine. So he goes for an easier course, and he hops on the grass, and he runs along the wall. And something that we see is as they pan out the camera, the wall deviates from the river. And so while he's thinking he's heading the direction of the river, he's actually heading a different direction entirely. I see Christians do the very same thing in their Christian life. A father who wants to better provide for his family may work long hours in order to provide for them. But he doesn't realize that money is not the only way you need to provide. A father needs to provide guidance and support and availability to his family. A father needs to provide spiritual leadership for his family. And far too many fathers, they work, and then they neglect the spiritual needs of their family. And they neglect their family's need of time with them. And they wonder why their family isn't the family that they're wanting. What are they doing? They're trying the wrong way. They're taking the wrong path to get to what they want. There are many young people that want a physical relationship. And many young people, because they want a physical relationship with their significant other, they pursue that physical relationship, but they do it outside of God's timing and outside of the bond of marriage. What are they doing? They are in turn taking something that God intended to be holy and right and pure, and they're turning it into a wicked thing. And then many times they lose their relationship with that significant other anyway. You say, why? Well, because they've taken the wrong way to get to where they're going. And it looks right, and they think they're doing all right, but they're taking the wrong way, the wrong path to the thing that they desire. You see, God tells us how our way can lead to all the things that we want. There are those who will try to save money or pay off some debt. And so they work extra and they try to put back extra, but they back off on their missions giving, or they cease in their tithing in order to give more money to their bills. What are they doing? They're shooting themselves in the foot. They're taking the wrong path to get to where they want to go. You understand, folks? There are millions of ways to hell. There's only one way to heaven. And there are millions of ways to get to the wrong destination, but there's only one way to get to that which you really desire. God in His Word gives us some instruction. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6, he says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. Those folks we mentioned earlier, the fathers that are working so much, and the young people that are falling into immorality, and the folks that are ceasing in their tithe to pay off bills, you know what they're doing? They're leaning on their own understanding. They're taking the wrong path to get to where they're going, and it will never take them to where they really need to be. So he continues in verse 6, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. You see, what does that mean? If you will acknowledge God in every decision, if you will acknowledge God in your parenting, if you will acknowledge God in your finances, if you will acknowledge God in every major decision of your life, you'll find He will direct your paths the right way. You say, well, how do I acknowledge God? Well, He's given us a book that tells us what He thinks on the matter. Yeah, I wonder today, do you even acknowledge God in your decisions? I've talked to people in the past, they say, well, I'm praying about tithing. That tells me they're a liar. You don't need to pray about tithing. God tells you in His Word He wants you to tithe. So, well, I'm praying about being a witness and giving the gospel to other people. You don't need to pray about that. God already told you He wants you to do it. Hey, Luke 12:29 says this, and seek not ye what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, neither be ye of doubtful mind. For all these things of the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knoweth that ye have need of these things. So He's telling us, look, don't try your own path. Don't work your own way. Just follow what I'm telling you to do. And He actually continues here in verse number 32. but rather seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. All these things shall be added unto you. You see, if you will seek God's will in your relationships, Father, and acknowledge his counsel, you'll reach where you want to be in your family. If you will acknowledge him in your marriage and seek his counsel from his word, you'll reach where you want to be in your marriage. If you will seek God's will in your finances and acknowledge his counsel from his word, you'll reach where you want to be with your finances. If you in your Christian life will, rather than following your own route, rather than following your own gut, rather than following your own decisions, if you will acknowledge him in every little decision and acknowledge his word, what has God already said about it, you and I will find that we will follow that only path, the only way to all these things. Not just one area of success, not just one area of profit, not just one area of peace and contentment, but a satisfied life. I want to encourage you. Let's acknowledge God in our decision making, and let's follow the counsel he's already given us in his word so that we can find that only way to all these things. We love you, folks. We'll see you tonight at 7.